I'm Chris Klein.
And we're doing a scene from the doll's house. A doll's house.
Mrs. Helmer!
Keep your voice down, my husband's in there.
I don't care where he is.
What do you want?
Information.
What is it? Hurry up.
I suppose you know I've been dismissed.
I couldn't stop it, Mr. Crockstead. I fought for you as hard as I could, but it was no use.
Doesn't your husband love you at all? He knows I can denounce you, and yet he still has the face.
You really think I've told him?
Well, no, to tell you the truth, I didn't think you had. Good old Torvald Helmer. Wouldn't it be like him to show so much virility?
Mr. Crockstead, if you're going to talk about my husband, please show some respect.
Oh, I respect him. Good heavens, yes. But now that you're so carefully keeping this secret, I can only assume that since yesterday you've found out a little more about the exact implications of what you've done.
Yes, more than you could ever teach me.
Oh, well, of course, I'm such a hopeless lawyer.
What is it you want?
Just to see how you are, Mrs. Helmer. I've been thinking about you all day. You see, even debt collectors and hack journalists and people like me still have some traces of what we call feelings.
Then show some. Think of my children.
Have you or your husband ever thought of mine? Not that it matters. All I wanted to say is that you needn't take all this so seriously. I'm not intending to lay charges against you for the time being.
No, I didn't think you would.
There's no need for anyone else to know about this. The whole thing can be settled quite amicably between the three of us.
But my husband must never find out about this.
And how do you propose to stop him from finding out? Perhaps you're now in a position to pay me the balance.
No, not right away.
Or perhaps you've some way of raising the money over the next few days.
No way I'd care to use.
In any case, it wouldn't do you any good. However much money you offered me, you'd never get me to part with that contract.
Well, what use is it to you? Can you explain that?
I just want to keep it, to have it in my hand. No outsider will know anything about it. So if you were considering some desperate plan...
I am.
Like running away from home?
I am.
Or perhaps something worse than that?
How do you know that?
Forget it.
How do you know what I'm thinking?
Most people think that at the beginning. I did. But I didn't have the courage.
Neither have I.
No, you haven't the courage either, have you?
I haven't.
Anyways, it wouldn't be much good to you. The only thing that will happen is a slight domestic crisis, and then... I have a letter to your husband in my pocket.
Telling him about
As
it.
euphemistically as possible.
No! Tear it up! He mustn't read that letter. I'll get a hold of the money somehow.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Helmer. I thought I just explained to you that...
I'm not talking about the money I owe you. Tell me how much you want from my husband. I'll find it.
I don't want money from your husband.
Then what do you want?
I'll tell you then. Shall I, Mrs. Helmer? I want to get back and I want to get on. And your husband's going to help me. I've been there a year and a half now, and I've been a model employee. The whole time I've been struggling along in the most abject poverty. But I've been happy to work my way up step by step. Not anymore, though. Not since I was kicked out. It's not enough for me anymore. Just to be given my job back is a great favor. As I said, I want to get on. I want promotion. Your husband will have to create a new post for me.
He'd never do that.
Oh yes, he would. I know him. He wouldn't dare raise a murmur. And once we're working together, you'll see what'll happen. Within a year, I'll be the manager's right-hand man. It'll be Nils Krogstad, not Torvald Helmer, running the joint stock bank.
You'll never manage it.
Well, you're not going to.
I do have the courage now.
You can't frighten me. A spoiled, sensitive lady like you?
You'll see. You'll see.
Under the ice will it be. Down into the cold, pitch-black water, floating to the surface next spring. Bloated, hairless, unrecognizable.
You can't frighten me.
You can't frighten me either. People don't do things like that, Mrs. Helmer. In any case, what good would it be? I'd still have your husband exactly where I wanted him.
What? Afterward, even if
You
I...
forget that I own your reputation. Well, now you know. So don't do anything stupid. When Helmer's read my letter, I expect an answer from him. And remember, it's your husband who's forced me back on this path. I'll never forgive him for that. Goodbye, Mrs. Helmer.